Hey everyone, we're the Violet Reality. My name is Casey Rain.
And I am Kim Camellia.
And we are here today with an awesome video.
Yes.
But before we get into it, I just want to say a quick thing.
Yeah.
And that is, you know that on this channel, we do not have any adverts running before the videos.
No.
Because, one, they suck. And two, it's not worth it. And three, you don't really, as a content creator, you don't really get like that much control about what people see. So if we did want to run adverts, I don't know what kind of products they would be for, and maybe there would be some stuff that actually we don't care about and we don't want to push on you guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That said, now that we're growing our subscriber base, if products and companies that we do like want to reach out to us and say, hey, we love you guys, put some of our stuff in your video and things like that, then we're happy to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing very quickly today. And this is a company, if you're in the UK or in Europe, called Saturo, and this is what their product looks like. And what they make is ready to drink food. So it's liquid, it's a drink, but it's fully nutritionally complete. It's 500 calories per bottle, and it's delicious. And so it's quick and convenient for when you don't have time to make food and you're on the go and you're on the run. If you're in the US, there's a company called Soylent that does a similar thing. This is like a UK Europe equivalent, Saturo. This is their original flavor.
Chocolate.
They do a chocolate flavor.
And coffee.
And they do a coffee flavor. So go to, if you Google Saturo, we'll put a link in the description. You'll find it if you're interested.
Yeah.
And maybe we've got a referral link to give you guys some kind of discount as well. It'll be in the description.
Yeah.
Anyway, that said, let's move on to the point of the video. And this is a haul. Do you know what haul video is?
I'm pretty sure you do. So a haul is where we show you all the stuff that we got to show it off. No, I'm kidding. Just like, you know, because we know that all of you are interested in music, you're interested in prints. So we went on a massive, and I'm saying massive, shop to Amoeba
Records in Hollywood. Yes, you guys know that we were in LA for most of December and most of January. And while we were there, we did something that I used to do all the time back in the day. When it was a thing that people did. Now, these days, it's not really a thing that people do because there's nowhere to do it.
No.
And that is going to a massive record store and buying like a ton of music. Now, in this country, in the UK, the only large record stores are just like filled with generic chart crap.
Yeah.
Like we walked into a store, HMV in England last week, and like the first album that we saw in was Now That's What You Call Mum. Like, what the hell is that? Like, who would buy that? Like, if you buy that, shame on you. That's just some generic, just crap. And so record stores in these days, because like not that many people buy music anymore, they're usually just filled with these sort of generic rubbish things and whatever's popular.
Or like hits albums,
and
like
hits albums, and not much else. And then the good record stores are like tiny. So you can go in and spend like 10 minutes there and you'll have found everything you want, and it'll be like 3 or 4 things, and you'll have spent like not very much money. And
Amoeba is like, it's not like heaven, it's heaven for any record collector, because I swear they've got like everything that was ever made of every genre and all this hard to find stuff, and it's just amazing. I think we spent like 3 hours or 4 hours in there each and every time we went, and then we nearly had to get like kicked out when it was closing time because we wanted to stay.
Amoeba Records is a throwback to when record stores were good.
It's amazing.
It's like the last surviving good record store. So this is our haul video. If you've been on YouTube for a while, then maybe you see people doing makeup hauls and beauty hauls and fashion hauls, and they go out and buy a ton of stuff. But we wouldn't do that. I mean, that's not what our channel is about. No. But music haul we can do. So without further ado, we'll show you what we got. All right. So
first thing we picked up is
Stacy and Kamiko. This is a R&B / soul / funk album from 1990. Came out on MCA Records. And the reason why we picked this up, particularly because it has productions by Chucky Booker. Yeah. We love Chucky Booker, one of our favorite producers and artists. Tracks like Touch and Turned Away and Games, all those classic Chucky Booker tracks. He did some production on this album, and so did Brian Loren. Now, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you're probably familiar with Brian Loren. He worked with Michael on lots of different songs, tracks like Superfly Sister, Dangerous Era kind of stuff. So he did a very sort of a track that a lot of MJ fans want to get their hands on called Men in Black, which is from the Dangerous Era, never came out. He did lots of stuff with Michael.
So yeah.
So Brian Loren, he also did a fantastic solo album that I've had for many years with a track called Lollipop Love. I also love Brian Loren.
Yeah.
So he produced on this, Chucky produced on this, and it's a great album.
And then, you know, if not for that, I would have just picked it up because of the artwork on the back. It's just like, love it. The back as well. It's just animal print. I just love it. So yeah, we picked that one up.
So yeah, not too sure what happened to the girls, Stacey and Kamiko, whether they ever were able to follow this up, but regardless, great album.
We got it.
Okay,
No.
moving on. What else did we get? Oh my god,
have-
out of print, import,
love it,
Janet
love it.
Jackson, Control remixes.
The remixes.
Ooh, out of print, import. Yes. So actually, I have this on vinyl as well, but I think the tracks are slightly different on the vinyl. So this, you have like the video mix of Control, the extended mix of Nasty, the cool summer mix of Nasty. I love that mix. That's
It's
a fantastic
amazing,
mix.
yeah.
Extended mix of What Have You Done For Me Lately. Different mixes of When I Think of You and Let's Wait a While. So Control remixes by Janet. Some classic Jam and Lewis productions right there.
We've listened to that quite a lot in the past few months.
We certainly have. Now, on a similar note, more Janet. We got the box set of 20 Years Old.
Yes.
So for some reason, I never picked up this album when it came out. I don't know why. I usually pick up Janet albums as soon as they came out, but this one, for whatever reason, back in 2006.
So when we found
box set.
this was still sealed.
Yeah, this was
really
sealed.
cool, yeah.
Sealed box. Comes with a bonus DVD.
Yeah. Ooh, we gotta watch that.
I have to say, Get It Out Me is my standout track from this album. That's such a great track. I love that one. So yeah, moving on. What else did we get? So Smashing Pumpkins Zero. You might have heard recently that Smashing Pumpkins just reformed with 3/4 their original lineup.
Yeah.
Zero is one of my favorite Smashing Pumpkins songs. This is absolutely epic. And what I really like about this single is that it has like 6 other songs that
it's almost like a EP.
Yeah, so they're not album songs either. They're not just like other songs from the album. They're just like new other songs that are only on this single. So yeah, Zero, Smashing Pumpkins, great track, great find.
Yeah.
What else did we get? So sealed copy of Not the Actual Events by 9 Inch Nails. I'm a huge 9 Inch Nails fan. Love 9 Inch Nails. Own pretty much like every 9 Inch Nails thing that's ever come out. This came out last year, or originally in December 2016 digitally, and then the CD came out last year in 2017. This is the first part of a trilogy. The third part is not out yet. The second part came out recently. This is the first part. I got it when it first came out. It was digital download only. So until I saw this in the store, I actually didn't realize that they'd done a physical CD version. So that's pretty badass.
Cool.
Always like to have physical CDs of the artist I like.
It's better to listen to, aren't they? Because you also get to like look at the album artwork, and you get to like look at the booklet and stuff. It's just it's great to have.
Exactly.
Oh,
here's an album that we own in many different formats.
Yes, but when we see it in a different format that we don't own yet, we have to buy it again because that's what you do when you really love someone.
Exactly. This is an album that I've had on tape since I was 2 years old. I mean, what is there to say about Dangerous that has not been said before?
There's
I mean, come on now.
I mean, just the album artwork alone, and then the track
Genius.
list, and I'm just
Michael, Teddy Riley.
Just
what else is there to say?
No words.
What else is there to say?
Find again.
Special edition. There we go. Okay, now a classic of funk, underground funk. Betty Davis. Yes. So this album, Nasty Gal. Betty is kind of her career has gone through a sort of resurgence in the last few years. She did a few albums in the 70s, this being one of them, and then completely disappeared from music for 40 odd years. It's only in recent years that her albums have been reissued. Journalists have gone to like track her down and talk to her, and I think people had to actually like find her to give her like decades worth of royalties. Like she just completely went off the map. You may also know that Betty was married to Miles Davis, hence her name being Betty Davis. And you may also know that members of Sly and the Family Stone, like Larry Graham, worked on her album. So if you've never listened to Betty Davis, apparently there's also a documentary. I don't know if it's out. Some people were telling me that there's an amazing Betty Davis documentary either just came out or about to come out. So we're going to check that out. If you've never listened to Betty Davis, hardcore 70s funk, some serious bass, Oh my god.
And you know what? I would have picked that up just for the album artwork. Like, look at the front, there's still a sticker on it, and then look at the back as well. It's so good.
We love Betty Davis. If you like your funk heavy and dirty and grimy,
who doesn't?
Then I mean, you just need to listen to Betty Davis. This is a remaster from the original tapes, booklet with liner notes, rare photographs, and full lyrics.
It's a really good remaster as well. They did that really well. They did such great work on that.
Betty, love it.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What else? What else? What did we get? So, more Nine Inch Nails, the single of The Day the World Went Away, B-side Starfuckers Inc., and a quiet version of The Day the World Went Away. Also, all great songs from The Fragile, which is, at times, my favourite Nine Inch Nails album ever. It's either at the top or in my top 2 or 3 at all times. It is a phenomenal album. Never had the single before. Now I have it. What else have we got?
We have got...
The legendary,
Ralph!
Ralph Tresvant from New Edition. Yeah. Oh my god, his solo album with Sensitivity on it. One of the greatest R&B songs ever. Yeah. So, this album... Actually, one other thing that some of you guys may not know about this album, there's a track on here called All Right Now, which was written by Michael Jackson.
It was, yeah.
So Michael contributed to this album. Of course, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis producing tracks like Sensitivity, She's My Love Thing. Just phenomenal album.
You can just hear that. And something funny that we did with this album is we also got the cassette.
Tape. You know, if you love an album, you have to have it in multiple
the tape
formats.
as well. Yeah,
so now we're only missing the vinyl.
Yeah.
Love it. Shout out to Ralph, New Edition. Where's the New Edition music?
I know, where is it?
Honestly, you guys had that massive TV show on BET telling the whole New Edition story that was so good, and now you just need
put some music out there, or at least go on tour or something like that, so we can see you and film it and talk about it.
We need some new Edition.
We do. Oh, by the way, something funny about New Edition is that while we were driving through LA, one of our, I think, Lyft drivers was playing New Edition all the way through, and we were just...
And we had a good conversation with them. We were like, as soon as we got into the car, we were like, yes, New Edition. And then we had a good conversation.
So if you remember us, or if you ever see this video, shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Mr. Lyft driver from LA.
Yes.
What else? Okay, Sheila E. Sex Symbol.
Yes.
As Prince fans, we obviously love Sheila. This is a great track. I love
percussion on all of her albums is just amazing. There's just that style of percussion that she does that nobody else can do, and I just love this album. And the album artwork is really nice as well. Yeah. I love the way that she was photographed because it's like a lot more like...
So this is after she kind of had left the Prince camp for a while, because this album just came out on Warner's. It did not come out on Paisley Park.
Yep.
But still, classic track, Sex Symbol by Sheila. Now, what else have we got? Shaka Khan, Life is a Dance remix project. What else is there to say? Some great remixes of some Shaka Khan classics.
You got This Is My Night, you got I'm Every Woman, you got Ain't Nobody, you got I Feel For You, you got just
different remixes of all those songs. So we love Shaka. We saw Shaka live last year.
She was so good. She was so good.
And we just, who doesn't love Shaka Khan?
I know,
So, another funk classic from the 80s, Renee and Angela, A Street Called Desire.
Yes.
My favourite track on here, I'll Be Good. What an absolute dance floor slammer, Renee and Angela. This is a fantastic album. It's a reissue with like 5 bonus tracks on it, including the full extended version of I'll Be Good and the extended versions of lots of other songs on it. Classic. We love Renee and Angela. One of our favourite acts from the 80s, Angela Winbush and Renee Moore. Yeah. Here's an interesting fact that relates to this. After Renee and Angela split up, one of the things that Renee did was he wrote Jam with Michael and Teddy Riley. So, good old Renee making classic music. And Angela Winbush, of course, phenomenal singer.
Just amazing,
I've been listening to a great Angela Winbush track recently called Treat You Right, produced by Chucky Booker, who we were just talking about earlier. That is a jam as well.
It's like literally all like coming together in like full set. Like everybody that used to like be really big, or is still really big, works with everybody else that's really big as well. It's like
everything's connected.
Loving
it. Exactly. What else have we got here? Here's another link. So, what is the link between this and the next thing? It is, of course...
We're not going to say, we're going to make you guess. We're going to make you guess. We're going to wait a second here. We're going to give you a second to guess. Yeah, so what's the link between Dangerous and...
Guy.
Guy, what's the link?
You should know.
Yeah, you should.
It's pretty
If you're
obvious.
a music fan, you should know.
If you're a music fan, you should know. The link is, of course, Mr. Genius himself, Teddy Riley, the king of New Jack Swing, and all of Guy's stuff is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Also, Guy was just so much better than Blackstreet. I'm sorry if you disagree with that, but Guy is Teddy Riley's best group. I mean, come on, do me right. Teddy's Jam,
That's just
Teddy's
so
Jam 2 on
good.
this album. This
Yeah.
is the second Guy album,
Yeah.
so it's Teddy's Jam 2, D.O.G. Me Out, classic.
Yeah.
So many classics, MCA Records.
You're forgetting Let's Chill. That's on there as well. That's
Let's
great
Chill,
as well. Yeah.
of course. We love Guy.
Yeah.
Guy are amazing. If you've never listened to Guy, something wrong with you, go over to Spotify, go listen.
But yeah, let's get a little discussion going in the comments like there was going on about a year ago on your Twitter page. Who do you think is better, Guy or Blackstreet? Tell us in the comments
Guy.
and tell us why. Tell us.
It's Guy. Now, from Dangerous
Yeah.
to Guy,
Uh-huh.
or Guy was before Dangerous. But anyway, to the next album that we're going to show you that we picked up, yet another link. This is Bobby Brown, third album, just called Bobby. Also primarily produced by Teddy Riley.
Yeah.
Tracks like Humping Around,
Hit
Getaway.
that was, yeah.
So many great tracks.
Gee.
Two Can Play That Game is on here. Something in Common, the duet with Whitney, his wife, a classic. That's the Way Love Is. Great album.
Yeah, the back of it is actually really interesting too, because I feel like Bruno Mars may have based the album cover for his latest album on this sort of like color scheme, because it's like Bobby Brown's wearing red and then the background's white, and this album looks like that as well if you think about it. So I think that he probably based it on that. It's just
So some people, actually a lot of people think that this is Bobby Brown's second solo album.
Yeah.
And they think that My Prerogative was his first solo album. Actually, My Prerogative was the second, and this is the third. So the first Bobby Brown album was not actually a big success compared to the second and third. The first Bobby Brown album is an album called King of Stage, which was produced, a lot of it was produced by Larry Blackman from Cameo. So it kind of sounds like a Cameo record with Bobby Brown singing. I actually love that album. A lot of people don't know about it. We just love Bobby Brown in general.
he's great, just amazing. Yeah.
All right, what's next? What's next? What's next?
What have we got? What have we got?
We've got another link to the next thing. Oh my god.
We've got so many links.
Everything links
connected.
together. Everything links together. So when you think Bobby Brown,
Yes.
what do you think? You obviously think New Edition.
Yes.
But who else was in New Edition? Of course, Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah.
So this is the Belle Biv DeVoe remix album, Boot City. It has the remixes of Do Me and Word to the Mother, Ain't Nothing Changed, She's Dope, Poison remix. So many cool remixes.
Fantastic.
BBD.
Again, you wouldn't find this in any other record store. You would just find this
It's
at
out of
Amoeba.
print.
Seriously. It's out of print. So, yeah.
Belle Biv DeVoe. New Jack Swing. Kings. New Edition. One half of New Edition? Yeah.
Pretty
three of them.
much, yeah.
So we love Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah.
All right, what else did we get?
We got so much stuff, guys. So much stuff.
So, what's next?
We were basically walking around like one moment with like all the CDs like hanging off our arms because we forgot to get a basket, and then we were like, no, we're just gonna buy 2 things, and then we were like, no, we'll buy like 8 things, and it turned to 10 to 12 to 14 to like, and then we also got all the vinyl. So yeah. So next up.
So, if you're my age or older, and you grew up, as I did, being a Michael Jackson fan, then you probably clearly remember when Invincible came out, and it had all the different colours. Now, I remember going to the record store, as soon as I could get to the record store, and I really wanted the blue colour. And maybe I want, like, was there a red one as well?
There was red, blue, yellow,
And
green, and white.
Yeah. So, when the album first came out, I really wanted the blue one. I would have maybe bought the red one as well. But when I got to the record store, all of the colours were sold out except the green one.
Obviously.
So when I bought Invincible, when it first came out, I bought the green one. So when we were going around Amoeba and we saw the blue one, I should go and get my green one from over there, but it's all the way over there, so I'm not going to bother. Finally got the blue one after
years.
16 years since it came out.
Yeah, so what we want to do now is we want to collect all of them and then have all the colours and make like a little Invincible display.
Exactly.
And so yeah, amazing tracks on here. I just love Invincible, love Unbreakable, love Heartbreaker, love
Break of Dawn, Heaven
just
Can
all
Wait,
so good.
Butterflies. I mean, come on.
Honestly,
This album.
Michael, teach us, or like you should have taught us how to make an album like that. Like all tracks on the album are just phenomenal and great to listen to.
Exactly.
How do you do that? Just how?
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
We found a sealed copy. Wham! Music from The Edge of Heaven, the final Wham album.
Yeah.
Title track, The Edge of Heaven, is actually my favourite Wham song.
Is it?
So
Oh,
it is.
I didn't
It's
know
my
that.
favourite Wham song.
Learned something today. So yeah, this is the last album that I missed in my Wham. collection. So I've got a Make It Big, and I've got I've got a bunch of the albums on vinyl. So this was the actual last one that was missing from my CD collection. So there's most of the great ones. Yeah, it's really quite rare that you find an album like that sealed, and I just love that The Edge of Heaven has the long version on it, and then you have I'm Your Man that has the long version as well. I think that's a live version actually. So it's just like, oh, I'm so gutted that I can't find a lot of like live performances of Wham anywhere on the internet. Like, their last concert would be so great to have out on DVD, but I don't know if it ever came out on DVD. So, yeah. Tell me, if you know about it, tell me in the comments, because I'd love to see more George Michael, because obviously, you know, with his recent passing and his Freedom documentary coming out, it's just like, you know, it kind of like hits you really hard that even he is no longer around now. It still happened in the same year. It's really sad. So yeah, and I feel like if you then find something new that you didn't own before, you're like, yay, a new thing, and that kind of like warms your heart like that. So yeah.
Moving on to the next thing that I bought, as I mentioned before, gigantic Nine Inch Nails fan, found an out of print copy of the very first Nine Inch Nails single,
so dope.
Down in It. Classic industrial rock genius from Trent Reznor. Kind of loosely based on a track called Dig It by Skinny Puppy. If you like industrial music, you probably know Nine Inch Nails and Skinny Puppy. So yeah, very first Nine Inch Nails song. So one of the cool things that Nine Inch Nails has always done, and where's that other one?
That's of the other ones.
So Trent has always categorized each Nine Inch Nails release with something called a halo number. So what that means is every Nine Inch Nails release will say halo and then the next sequential number on it, which encourages fans to collect all of the halos.
Yeah.
So the one I showed you before, The Day the World Went Away, is Halo 13. You can see that it says Halo 13 on the front. First Nine Inch Nails single, Down in It, is of course Halo 1. I wonder if I can see that if I put it right to the camera.
You should be able to see it.
Halo 1, right under the Nine Inch Nails logo. So I'm a little bit closer to having all of the halos.
Awesome.
Yep.
And also for that one, the album artwork is just so good. I just love the album artwork for it.
Halo 29, the other one I showed you. Paula Abdul's debut.
Yes.
Forever Your Girl. Love this classic pop album from 1988. It came out on Virgin Records.
Straight Up is on it.
Straight Up, yep. The Way That You Love Me, Opposites Attract, of course. Strong Minneapolis influence on this album. I think Jesse Johnson played on some of it. The guys who worked on Opposites Attract were two of the guys from Maserati. And Oliver Lieber worked on it. Yeah. Oliver Lieber worked very heavily on this album. If you've never heard of Oliver Lieber, he's a fantastic producer and guitarist, son of Jerry Lieber from Lieber and Stoller, the famous songwriting duo from the 20th century. Yeah. And these days, Oliver Lieber actually plays guitar with the Family at F Deluxe sometimes. So I've actually seen him play guitar live with the Family. Did some great work on this album.
And then we also got to give her credit for how great of a dancer she is, because obviously that's where she came from, was a trained dancer. She's amazing at dancing, and then we figured out that she can also sing, so then there you go. Also, while we were in LA, I think that we saw her coming out of a restaurant. So we should have said hi, but we weren't quite sure whether it was her or just someone that looks like her. You know, that's kind of the thing that you have when you're in LA. You kind of sometimes see people that look like people, and you're like, I'm in LA, so it might actually be that person. But yeah, so love her, amazing dancer, just someone to look up to. More Nine Inch Nails. Yep. March of the Pigs single, Halo 7. Got this for $1.99. 5 tracks on there. Bargain. Bargain. Some great Nine Inch Nails. What else? We've got so much stuff, guys. We told you before. Oh my god. We found a sealed edition of New Edition N.E. Heartbreak. So this is the first album or when they did after Bobby Brown left and Johnny Gill joined. Some great Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Phenomenal productions on this album. You're Not My Kind of Girl. Can You Stand the Rain? Oh my god. That's so good. The song Boys to Men, which later became the inspiration for the name of the band, Boys to Men. Yeah. And of course the title track, N.E. Heartbreak. Yeah. All phenomenal songs. And how cool is it that you find a sealed copy of something like that? A sealed copy? Shout out to New Edition. We love New Edition. What else? Oh my god, okay. So my favourite thing that we bought, so there's a little bit of a story before we show you this. Yes, so, when we first got to LA and we first went to Amoeba, we spotted in a cabinet
this incredibly rare Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis 4-CD compilation that I've had an MP3 rip of for years and listened to all the time.
Yeah.
It's incredibly rare. I think there was less than 1,500 copies made back in 1996 or so.
And it was originally used as promotion material to obviously show other acts what they had to offer to work with them.
I think there was a dinner in New York. This is what I've managed to learn from research. There was a dinner in New York held by EMI Publishing to celebrate Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and this set was given out to all the attendees that attended this dinner. So there's very, very few. And this is it right here. So so the story, as we were saying, was that we went to Amoeba, we saw it, didn't buy it,
came back,
thought, kicked myself for not buying it, thinking, should have probably bought it. It was very expensive, so we were kind of like thinking whether we should or not. And then we went back to Amoeba 2 or 3 more times, and it was gone. We couldn't find it.
There anymore.
And on top of that, they told us that it had been sold. And then so on our final trip to Amoeba, just before we left, we'd given up on finding it again.
We'll never find it. We'll never buy it.
We missed out. It's all right. We live and learn. Next time something like that happens, we buy it straight away. And then we were walking through the aisles, and bam! There it was.
Yeah.
We found it.
And there were 2 of them there. I hope someone else that's a really massive Prince and Janet and MJ and like, you know, Gemma Lewis fan in general just bought that and like got a nice copy of that at their houses, because we were sort of like debating on whether we should buy both of them, but then we were like, no, we're going to leave the second one for someone that actually really wants it in their collection as well.
Exactly. So this is 4 CDs of just many of Jam and Lewis's greatest ever productions. You couldn't fit all of them on here. You'd need like at least like 10 CDs.
You'd need like a box that's like twice as like 3 times as big.
Exactly. And the reason why this is a rare promo and it came out through EMI Publishing rather than a record label. See, there's no barcode or anything.
No.
Because it's just an internal release. And the reason for that is that a lot of these productions that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did were for several different record labels. So trying to get all the rights to put all of their productions on one compilation would just be an absolute nightmare, because there'd be so many different record labels involved. But the publishing company obviously administers them as songwriters, and so they can put together an internal set and circulate it without, you know, violating the rules of, you know, the rights of these songs being sold and stuff like that. So,
and then years later, someone finds something like that, you know, in their collection, and then they like sell it to a record store, and then they sell it, and then someone buys that from the record store, and they sell it on to another record store, and then in that kind of way, it gets into our hands.
Exactly. Now, one thing I really love about this is that it's pretty much chronological, from starting in 1982 when they well, they hadn't even left the Time yet, or been fired from the Time. So Prince fired them from the Time as they started producing further acts, maybe because they started producing other acts and he didn't want them to. And then, so this set starts in 1982. The earliest track on here is Wild Girls by Climax. And then it goes all the way to 1995. Final tracks in 1995 being things like Runaway from Janet, Scream by Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, you know, and everything in between. So everything in between 1982 to 1995. So you've got the SOS Band, Change, Cheryl Lynn, Delma Houston, Alexander O'Neill, Force MDs, Paddy Austin, Ralph Tresvant, Johnny Gill, The Time, Karen White, Sounds of Blackness, Low Key, Luther Vandross, Human League, Robert Palmer, Herb Alpert, New Edition, obviously loads and loads of Janet, Shabba Rank, Sounds of Blackness, Patti LaBelle, Barry White, Gladys Knight, Boys to Men. So many amazing acts. So this is one of the best compilations ever.
They got such a great legacy, don't they? It's just, they worked with so many people.
If you dig around on the internet, you can probably find you know, a playlist of this. In fact, maybe I'll make that on Spotify. Maybe I'll recreate the track list of this as a Spotify playlist, because obviously most of these songs should be searchable from the individual artists that made them, and it's whoever compiled it at EMI did a really great job, because it flows really well. The tracks they picked work really well, and everything goes really well together. So rare EMI Jam and Lewis compilation, 4 discs, absolutely
got
amazing.
it on like our second to last day in LA as well, so amazing. I love that there's such a story to getting that as well.
Exactly. This didn't come from Amoeba, but we're putting it in here anyway. Our good friend Chambers Stevens, who invited us out to LA and hung out with us, he gave us this Borders promo tape of The Holy River by Prince. So this was actually, it's sealed as well. So this was only given away in Borders bookstores. Does Borders even exist anymore?
I don't know.
I don't
Does
even know if it
anyone
exists
know?
anymore. I think they went out of business. So back in 96 or early 97, this was given away for free with every purchase at Borders. It has the Holy River on it, and it has the acoustic version of Welcome to the Dawn. Art designed by Steve Park. Shout out to you, Steve Park. This is a cool item, so thanks, Chambers, for giving that to us.
Fantastic.
Now, moving on to the vinyl. We've got a bunch of vinyl, some of it that we bought, some of it that was gifted to us by our good friend, J Deluxe. Shout out to you, Josh, aka J Deluxe.
But thanks so much.
We thought we'd include it in this video because he lives in Hollywood, and probably most of the stuff that he gave us came from Amoeba anyway, so it just made sense to put this in the video.
Is that true, Josh? Is that true?
I think we all know it's true. So first of all, last year's Record Store Day exclusive of What Time Is It by The Time, limited to 5,500 copies on green vinyl.
Yeah, so it's not a lot of them, and I think we actually talked about this in one of our This Week in Prince episodes last year.
We did.
So yeah, we finally got it. We said to you that we wanted it so badly, and we finally got it.
One of the greatest funk albums of all time, secretly produced by Prince. His name is not on there anyway, it only says produced by Jamie Starr, who we all know is a thief. It's time to fix your clock.
Yes.
But, I mean, come on, you can hear his voice on it, you can hear his sounds on it. Even if you didn't know it was Prince, it's pretty damn obvious. So, classics on here like 777 93 11 with the greatest drum pattern of all time. Wild and Loose, One Day I'm Gonna Be Somebody, The War. Gigolos Get Lonely Too, I Don't Want to Leave You. Every track on here, it's a stone cold Minneapolis funk classic.
What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it?
I'm not wearing a watch.
I don't know what time it is.
I'll have to ask Morris.
What time is it?
Time is it, Morris? Who knows? We'll find out. What else? Okay, another amazing thing that Kim spotted on the wall, on like super high up. So in Amoeba, they have super high ceilings. They have vinyl up at the top, and they put rare stuff up there. And to Kim's credit, she zoned in on something incredibly rare and found it, and we had to buy it. And of course.
So what all of you should know is that I have an eye for spotting anything Prince, especially if it's the color of the vinyl that we're about to show you, anywhere where I go. So I have an eye for it. So I just spotted that and I'm like, we got to have this because this is so hard to find anywhere else. So
this is pretty rare.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare. It is.
Right.
Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic on vinyl. Not only that, it's a gold stamp promo. Yep. So here we go. Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. Phenomenal album in my opinion. Some Prince fans don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. I really like it.
It's really good.
I love the title track, which comes from the Batman era. I love Undisputed with Chuck D. I love Greatest Romance. Got you know, phenomenal track sample of Flavor in Your Ear by Craig Mack on it in the background. Little subtle sample on that.
I actually really like Hot With You as well.
Hot With You. Really good. Great rap by Eve on that. Just so many good songs. I mean...
Oh, and Silly Game is really good too.
Silly
I
Game
love
is
that
great.
one too.
I Love You, But I Don't Trust You Anymore. Great song.
And then, of course, The Greatest Romance Ever Sold. With that amazing video. So,
Baby Knows, Wherever You Go, Whatever You... I love this album.
Yeah, it's
I love
great.
it.
And also, let's talk about the outfit on the cover. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the outfit and the braids and just let's talk about it. What do you think? Good look or not a good look?
I love it. I mean, I remember buying Rave on CD not long after it came out. And I loved, like, the CD had like a sort of shiny metal, like, hologram of Prince on the front kind of thing. Which made sense with that outfit. And
you know what the best thing about this is? They matched the symbol to coordinate with the outfit on the album cover. I just love it.
The other thing, if you've never heard it, there was Prince did his own re-release of the album called Rave Into the Joy Fantastic with different mixes, different remixes, some different tracks on the album. And a lot of people that don't like this version of the album actually do like Into. So I think a lot of the problem is just in the sequencing. If you combine what you like with Unto and what you like with Into, then you can pretty much make an album that everyone likes. Moving on. We didn't get this from Amoeba, we got this from a little market near Amoeba. And we found it. Let It Go vinyl. Also gold stamp promo. So you probably know by now because we've talked about it like a bunch of times.
Like a bunch.
But we are both huge fans of the Come album. For us, it is probably Prince's best album of the 90s, top 5 all time.
Definitely.
It's just a phenomenal album. So cool to get the vinyl of Let It Go. Has some cool remixes, including one produced by my friend QD3, which is Quincy Jones' son, Quincy D. Jones III. I met and interviewed him years ago making my Tupac documentary, and he's a good friend of mine. Yeah. So, yeah, shout out to QD3 for that awesome remix. I actually remember talking to him about it at one point. Let It Go on vinyl.
Yeah, and I think with Let It Go, that also translates into, you know, Come being such, like, the dirty, sort of more, like, aggressive sexual vibe that it has to it, translates to Prince listening to Nine Inch Nails at the time that he made it.
Yeah, I would say so. More so on some of the other songs on Come, because this is more R&B
This one's
track.
more like laid back, but you talking about the Come album, I mean like the album in general. I mean, it's a song like Pheromone, that's just 9 Inch Nails right there.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just looking at the credits on Let It Go, and I'm realizing that we've met either individually or both of us a lot of the people involved on this. So
we have.
Eric Leeds played on it. I met Eric when the family played in London a few years ago. Sonny T played on it. Yeah. Tommy Barbarella.
Met him.
Morris Hayes.
Met him.
Yep. And Maite, who we haven't met but we talk to all the time.
Yes.
So yeah, lots of cool people involved in this track.
Shout out to you.
Yep. Yeah. Let It Go promo.
Moving on to the next one.
Another gift from our friend Chambers.
Yeah.
This is Kid Creole, The Sex of It, which, as you know, produced and written by Prince. Maybe you didn't know, now you know. Actually, if you collect Prince bootlegs, there's some very cool rehearsal sessions of Prince and his band just jamming on this track when they wrote it. And obviously the demo of Prince singing the studio version is also out there. David Z worked on this. He has a production credit. And yeah, what else is there to say? It's just a great track.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
All right, and moving on. Jesse.
Yes, we got Jesse.
Motherfucking Johnson. Crazy. Duet with Sly Stone. Here's the man himself on the back, Sly Stone. Jesse on the front, Sly on the back. Great track.
How good is that album cover? Oh my god, the album cover is so good for this final. Just look at it, guys. Just look at it. It's so good.
Hey, this is a promo as well. We're getting all the promos.
We get all the gold stamp promos.
Yeah. So this is a great track. Amazing duet between Jesse Johnson and Sly Stone. Yeah. If you've never heard it, you should go listen to it.
Go check it out.
Great song from the Shockadelica album.
Moving on.
Get Off.
Get Off.
On vinyl.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Just.
Another promo. Gold stamp promo.
We got all these promos, guys.
Cool. The thing I love about this, apart from the song, of course, is that Prince drew all this himself. Like all these, all the designs. So. And
also, even now, nothing can stop the new power generation.
Exactly.
Nothing.
So we got all the mixes of Get Off, the extended mix, the house style mix, Violet, the organ grinder.
My favorite mix.
Gangsta Glam, Clocking the Jizz.
Yeah.
I still don't know why Prince decided that he would make different videos for all the songs.
Oh, I know. It's just neat. I mean, if you have album artwork like that, you need different videos as well for all of the songs. I mean...
They're all basically the same song.
Still.
They didn't need different videos.
More Prince for us to see. I mean...
And the mirror message on the back. Does that... Can you read that? Is that going to show?
Is that going to... I don't know. Because usually the camera flips the video so it's the right way around. Otherwise we would be mirrored. So I don't think anyone can read that.
That's true.
Like that.
Look in the mirror. Read it. And finally, Apollonia.
Mismatch.
Is this upside down?
Yes.
Yes. Mismatch by Apollonia. One of her solo songs from...
her self-titled album, Apollonia.
Her short-lived singing career after Prince. I think she decided that she would rather stick with acting than singing.
It's actually a really good album, her self-titled album. It's really nice. It has some really good beats on it.
Yeah.
She was obviously working with all the great people, so yeah.
This is a little bit cheesy where it says Jesus is my homeboy. I don't know why they decided to put that on the artwork. That's a bit weird, but we still love you, Apollonia. And this is a promo as well. Promotional copy not for sale. We're getting all the promos.
I know. Maybe it's because we just did a promo in the beginning of our video. But it's cool to have all this promo material because, you know, it's more special than having the regular versions of it.
And that's it, guys. That is our Amoeba Records haul from this trip to LA. There's actually one more thing that I haven't mentioned, and that's this shirt. Also picked this up at Amoeba Records, this awesome white shirt with the Purple Prince logo.
And then if you go onto my Instagram, I got a really, really cool George Michael shirt that has fake George Michael on it. It's like a raglan type of t-shirt, so you can check that out on my Instagram. I'll post a link to the picture in the description description below. And yeah, that concludes our haul. I hope you liked it. Tell us what your favorite picks are that we found, and tell us, you know, if we do decide to go back to LA and go back to Amoeba, what we should get as well. What some of your favorite records, some of your favorite CDs and tapes and whatnot are. Exactly.
We basically maxed out what we could bring back in our suitcases that we took with us. And trawled them all the way back to England.
Yep,
very heavy with lots of CDs and vinyl. But you know what? As passionate music lovers, we had to make it work one way or another.
And the other good thing is, none of them broke.
Yeah, that's true.
None of the CD covers broke, so that's good.
We were careful. All right, guys, that has been our haul from Amoeba Records from our LA trip, December 2017 and January 2018.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we go to LA, we'll have a similar sized haul and we can do a follow-up to this video. Do you own any of the things in this video? I'm sure many of you must own at least some of these things.
Yeah.
So tell us what you like. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Casey Rain.
I'm Kim Camellia.
We are the Violet Reality. And
we'll
catch you next time.
Bye.
Peace. Be wild.